What is going on? Look at ATAI. This thing's going bananas. Wow. Going from 85 cents to $1.92. It looks like it got halted twice already. I'd be scared to get into this because it would just drop on you at any moment. ATAI is up huge right now. I think it just got halted. Nope, it's still going. But it's just up so much right now, it could drop any moment. And if I pull up over here to the daily chart, look at that big drop. This was at $7, drops all the way down below $1. Crazy. I'm trying to see what the news is on it. See, that's the thing I don't like with Street Smart Edge. The news streamer on it isn't really all that great, so I'd have to switch over to Thinkorswim to get a good news stream on it. But other than that, so far I'm loving these charts and the level 2 on Street Smart Edge. See, and I've been keeping an eye on IGC too. And it just seems to be going somewhat sideways right now. And what I was looking for, pre-market, this went from 75 cents up to almost $1. And then if I pull up here the history on this, the history on this, it hasn't been over $1 in over half a year. And it's up over the 50-day, the 200-day. It's gapping up big. It's looking like a good continuation, but it might be, it's overextended bad. So you got 1 here, 2 here. You know, this was a good play last week, a very good play. Comes up to the moving average, goes up and over the moving average. Then pretty much the 50-day access support moves up to the 200-day moving average, pulls back, bounces off of the 50-day again, gaps up, just destroys that wall at the 200-day and closes strong. And that would have been a great hold over the weekend. As you can see, it gapped up really, really nicely today. So today, it could just possibly be going sideways and people just slowly taking profits. If I look at the volume, on Friday, it was 8.7 million. So, and today we're already at 17 million and climbing. If I go back to the biggest volume day here, this is this big red candle here, and this did 20 million in volume. So we are approaching pretty much all-time high for volume for this ticker. But the float is a little on the high side at 28 million. But what I was looking for this morning, it started at 75 cents, comes up to the dollar, right here, couldn't break the dollar, pulls back, then it finally breaks the dollar, surges up to $1.15. Then as soon as the market opens, this pulled back hard and it bounced literally right off of $1. Now remember, whole numbers are going to act as mental support and resistance levels. So this bounced it really, really good off of $1. That was an opportunity right there. And then this shot up to $1.25. And then since right when it hit $1.25, drops hard again. But then after that, it's just been slowly and steadily grinding up. But I don't like playing the first 5 minutes of the market because it's just too volatile. You don't know what's going to happen. I like to let things set up. So when it pulled back right here, I was looking for it to possibly U-shape up, break this high, and get in on it. And that didn't happen, and it pulled back again, made a higher low, started to move up, pulled back, made a higher low. Now it's just starting to go sideways. So I just can't seem to take my attention off of this because momentum could come back into this at any time. But if this breaks the VWAP right here, it's done for. And like I said, the psychology side of it, you know, it's a little overextended and people are just going to be taking profits today is what I'm thinking. They go back to ATAI. This is experiencing a pullback right now. I'd be keeping an eye on this I'd want this to at least try to hold the rest of the day. That way, towards the end of the day, power hour, this tries to make a great move on up. That's what I would be looking for on ATAI. Because it's hard right now. We're about to be approaching into lunch hours. OBLN just popped up and now it's just slowly dying off. Does have a nice couple days though. 1, 2, 3 green days up right here, gapping up up to the 50-day and then just simply moving on up to the 200-day. Love seeing plays like that. What else we got? We did have TIS. TIS, I didn't really care for TIS though because there was just no volume running into TIS. What's it at now, TIS? The volume is at 1.4 million. When it was like right here, the volume for the day was at only a little over like 200,000, not much at all. And going from 260 up to 373 Why would I get in on something a dollar up like that, you know, just for it to have it drop anytime on me a dollar? That's just throwing your money away. And it's also right up to the 200-day moving average. Right there. And if I look at the chart history on this ticker loves to obey its moving averages. So that's going to act as a really, really, really tough wall. What I would be looking for on this, possibly the next day, for this to gap up over the 50-day, and then that 50-day act as support, and then it has all this room to run up to the 200-day at 870, which is a lot of room to run. It's a recent runner as well. PED kept popping up on the scanners, just PED being PED. It's a low float. Momentum never came to it. SSC was up pre-market. It was one of the biggest percentage gainers on Friday. Gapped up just a little bit. And then as soon as the market opened, drops from 570 all the way down to 440. Look at that drop. Boom! That's a big drop. You see that long wick right there? That's just straight up emotions. That's panic selling. That's what that is. You can take advantage of panic selling in the morning like that for a possible good bounce. What do we get? 460 up to $5 almost. So a 40-cent bounce right there from that morning panic. I was looking at a bunch of pot stocks over the weekend after CVSI just went on that supernova run, like for 5 days or a week, 2 weeks. But I just didn't see any pot stocks that caught my eye. I was thinking the sector would probably heat up, but all of them are under the 50-day, the 200-day. They're all either going sideways or they're all just slowly trending down. None of them got my attention. And when I woke up for pre-market, I really didn't see anything on the gap scanner that was catching my attention. So I'm possibly just going to be waiting for Power Hour to see what that has. I have a few stocks I want to keep an eye on. IGC is one of those because it's holding this 110 level. If it can ever get up past 115, I'm going to be very interested in it and possibly test this 125 high and look for a continuation. But it is overextended, going from what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. This thing was at 40 cents. It's up to $1.10 now. And then ATAI, and look at this, it's pulling back right now. Going from 80 cents up to $1.95. Now it's pulling back down to $1.50. So let's see if it will hold above this VWAP. That's what I'll be looking for. If you got any questions, feel free to ask them. Anything you want me to go over, just type it in the chat there. I'm just going to keep streaming here. Let's see what's going on the scanners. We do have BDR. Let's see what BDR is doing. BDR looks to be, I keep doing that. I don't know why. I'm still trying to get used to this Street Smart Edge and all of these just moving this stuff around is weird. So this is BDR. The chart actually looks alright on this. It's been trending up the past few months, going sideways. The only thing I don't like on it is these long wicks. That means it loves to pop up and fall right back down, going from 58 cents to $1.14 and then crashing right back down. BDR. What's the volume on BDR? 121,000. Doesn't even have enough volume, but I will add it to the back burner just in case. I don't see any news on it either. And then OBLN came out with a placement. It announced a closing of a $10 million private placement. Gotta be up every single day for these market conditions. You gotta know what's going on. And stocks right now are just not breaking out still. CYTX, let's see. And I've been also trying out the screeners here on Street Smart Edge, and I won't lie, they're actually pretty good. They're pretty good. TIS is looking to go over that 50-day moving average at 375. So I normally use trade ideas, as you can see right here. Let me see if I can switch my screen over to, let's see. Hopefully that quality just turned better. No, I can't seem to change the screen, but I use trade ideas to scan the market for stocks. And I love trade ideas. The only thing that sucks is, paying the $115 for it monthly. But if I can get something that works the same as trade ideas for free, heck yeah, I'll take it. It saves me $100 a month. $100 a month adds up. But I wish I could show you guys, but this is trade ideas right here. You just get a scanner. You can customize the scanner. This is my momentum low float scanner. And then I just have multiple scanners up running real time, scanning the market consistently. The biggest percentage gainers. I have charts I can put up. That's just the SPY, because I like to see how the overall market's doing. I have a new high, new low ticker here. And then you get a company profile, so I can see what the float and the fundamentals are. But TIS is looking to get momentum and move on up. ATAI is pulling back. IGC still hanging around $1.10. TIS has room to run towards 850. It can get momentum. This very well could get momentum. It's a low flow as well at, it's a medium flow, I would say, at 10 million. But this is a recent runner. I'd say it's got room to run up to 435 and $5. So let me show you real quick. There's a little tiny gap right here. Gaps will act as support or resistance. Now when this is moving up, this gap right here, it's filling this gap. That right there is going to act as resistance. If it can break through that resistance, then it's got room to run up to 513. Breaks through 513, 846, baby. But watch now, it's also coming up to a mental resistance, $4. So let's see how it acts around this area. It's a little weird though. It could dump at any moment. This is the 3-minute. I do see buying consistently moving up here on the volume. But then I also see selling consistently moving up. I got a big sell right there. Let's see what the 5 minutes looking like. 5 minute, pretty much every 5 minute candle's making a new high. 15 minute. Okay. Still, you could see right here. You got that explosive move right there, and then you can see every volume bar is slowly a little higher. IGC's back up to $1.13. Okay, 1 second. I just gotta mess with my watch list here. UXIN, put on the back burner. How's OBLN looking? You can delete that. NEWA was just a real interesting one. LTRX. LTRX, look at this one. Gotta move up here, pulls back. Look at that explosion right there from 336 to 640. That's due to probably drop at any moment. Real quick, IGC, add TIS to this list. I really want to keep my attention on IGC, but I also want to keep my attention on TIS. TIS starting to pull back to 375. IGC still hanging around this $1.10 area. It's slowly starting to make lower highs though. You can see that right there. And then I'll just use this VWAP for support. Let me change this VWAP though. I gotta say though, I do love this Street Smart Edge platform. I love the level 2 on it, the times and sales. With Thinkorswim, they wouldn't give you the full whatchamacallit, the size right here. With Street Smart Edge, that it does. So I could visually see, okay, there's a 5,200 buyer here, 2,100 buyer here, there's a 4,000 seller here. And it does the same thing here in the times and sales. And you can customize the colors if you wanted to set them up to your preferences. I like that. ATAI pulled back to $1.41. Real quick, NEWA was just an interesting one I wanted to add to my watch list because recently this thing dropped hard, and it dropped hard for no reason. The company came out and said it has no idea why it dropped, but when I look at the history on this, I see drop here, a drop here, drops here, big drops too, but this was the biggest of them all right here. And this is a newer company, and this company came out 7-28. So this company is 1 month old, and it's already had 1, 2, 3 huge drops. So, and the float is fairly low on this. I think it's around 5-8 million, but this ticker is being manipulated. It really is. You could clearly see it's grinding up consecutive green days, and then one day gives it all back. Consecutive green days, couple red days gives it back. Consecutive green days, one big red day gives it back. Again, consecutive small green days, one big red day. Again and again. Somebody's making money on this, and it's just an interesting chart, I thought. So I thought I'd add it to my watch list just to keep an eye on it, see what it does. TIS now is approaching $4. See what I'm saying? I keep trying to move the actual chart. I actually got to move the whole thing. But I really think TIS is going to pop up and surge over $4, and I want to be there for that. IGC is starting to crack. The overall market is slowly starting to grind up. The high-low ticker says it's 3 out of 4 stocks are just barely making new highs compared to lows at 52%. IGC broke below $1.10 real quick. IGC right here broke below $1.10. slowly starting to drop back down to $1. So $1 is going to be the next support, but like I said, it's overextended. I really feel like people are just going to take profits on this all day. ATAI now is still hanging around $1.40. Kind of looks like it's starting to get really tight right there. If you put a I draw a resistance line right here, and then put a segment line. You see what I'm talking about? Back to TIS though. TIS could be the one. It's got 1.7 million, almost a 10 million in float. And it's the biggest percentage gainer that I like the most. These are the percentage gainers. Just no volume on these ones. If you're thinking why am I looking at the bottom ones compared to the tops, I like low floats. So it's hard for me to play a 15 million float because I just don't have the patience for a slow grinding stock to just slowly grind up all day 25 cents. That's hard for me. But none of these have volume. And TVIO, it's a little out of my price range. Now watch TIS. $4 is going to be a mental resistance level. And if it breaks over that $4, watch, it's going to surge up and over $4. Stocks seem to like to surge if it breaks a mental resistance or support area, like $4, $4.25, $4.50, $4.75, then $5. You have a lot of resistance and support areas to think about. Mental resistance and support, chart history, support and resistance levels, intraday resistance and support areas. You got to put all of those together. That's why when I'm looking at daily charts, I love playing charts. Also, you got your moving averages that act as support and resistance. So that's 4 categories or 4 subjects that fall under support and resistance. And you got to put them all together. And as I was saying, that's why I like playing and looking for charts pretty much where sky's the limit. There's no history of the chart on the chart of resistance. It's above it. There's no moving averages above it. It's got the world to run. See, look at that. That was a resistance. I said it was getting tighter. It was starting to slowly grind up, making higher lows. Popped a little bit above it. Now look at it. It's starting to get momentum. Look at that. Slowly starting to get momentum and go. That's proof right there that you can predict what is going to happen. You can. You can predict what is going to happen. If you apply yourself to the market, study patterns, you're there for market conditions, you see this over and over and over and over again. And you can put the puzzle together too. You can clearly see right here on the buying volume bars, the green ones. Look at it, it's slowly trending up. At the break of $1.48, $1.50, you'd be up 10 cents right now, looking for it to go back up to $2. Being the guy, that's selling on everybody that's looking to buy here at $2. You'd be dumping your shares on them. That's how it works. That's why every time people go and they're buying something way up here, and as soon as they buy in, it dumps on them. Because they don't have patience, and a smart trader, waits for a pullback, waits for a pattern to start to form that he is familiar with and that he knows. Then when that pattern starts to go into effect and that pattern is working or that pattern breaks out, he gets in and he's starting to ride it up, and it goes up and up and up and up, and then he's starting to scale out of his position, while other newbie traders, they're getting in up here thinking, oh, it's going to break out to new highs. It's going to go. And you're just, it's like taking money from a baby. It really is. You can predict it. A lot of times on these intraday charts, I look for wedges and I look for U-shapes. Higher lows. That's why you don't see a lot of studies or indicators on my intraday chart. I simply just like following volume and price action, the level 2, and comparing it with the times and sales. It'll tell you a lot. And if you put it all together and consistently run your eyes over the volume, the bid, looking for buyers, you want to see sellers getting taken out on the ask. But people say, yeah, it could be manipulated. This level 2 could be manipulated. Yeah, it can, but if you keep your eye on the times and sales and compare the times and sales with the level 2, you'll be all right. One second, guys. I'm going to go get something to drink. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. I'm here for you guys. If there's any stock or ticker you want me to go over and give my opinion on, I'm more than happy to do that. I just started doing these live streams as well, so if it's not the best, hey, I'm trying. The more I do it, the better I'll get. TIS is still at 380. IGC's bouncing off $1. ATAI. This is where the attention's at right now. breaking from $1.45 going up to $1.62. It's a little 15-cent pop. You know, and that's why they say you need money to make money. You buy 10,000 shares here at $1.50. Every penny is $100. It goes up 15 cents. That's $1,500. Watch for it to pull back right here. It's getting a big pullback. Look for it to pull back and bounce right off this old resistance. Traders will be looking for it now for this old resistance to hold as support. You know, and I've had people tell me on my YouTube and my videos that they're too long. People aren't going to watch them because they're too long, and people's attention is hard to get, and they should only be 5-10 minutes long. Well, you know, honestly, I don't really care about the getting a lot of subscribers or a lot of views. If I can reach just one person that's dedicated as much as I am and actually, you know, show them something or reach out and connect, you know, and want to learn, bounce ideas off of me, I bounce ideas off of them, so be it. That's pretty much why I'm doing this. It's just to reach out, see who else is out there. You know, I don't get paid from YouTube to do all this, so I'm going to do what I want. You know, and if someone wants to dedicate themselves to this and put the time in and watch these videos, good for them. You know, because you have to put the time in on this. And I can guarantee you, if you put the time into those videos, you will take away something every video. I know a lot. I've been doing this for over a year. Yes, I'm still learning, but I know a lot. And I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned a lot. And I'd want traders to at least learn from my mistakes so they don't have to make those mistakes. Those mistakes were painful. Mistakes that made you want to quit. But I'm glad I stuck with this. I absolutely love it. But while we have a little bit of time, let's see, we got TIS still hanging around just below this $4 area. Now I can slowly start to see buying accumulating on this with the green bars here. That's what I want to see and look for. We are in lunch hours though, so it's hard. I'd wait for this to be power hour. ATAI is looking good too. I might want to keep an eye on ATAI. What's the float on ATAI? $23 million. So ATAI, it dropped huge. So it's getting a really good bounce right now. That's all it's doing. Volume on it's 5 million. IGC's breaking below $1. So I just got something here from CNBC breaking news. US and Mexico have reached a trade deal, paving the way towards replacing NAFTA. This is a developing news story. Did that pop up on my news streamer here on breaking news? No, but here at 11:11, Canada says we'll continue to work for a new NAFTA deal. What is the NAFTA? I don't even know. See, look exactly what happened. What did I say? This was old resistance. It popped up. Right when it started to pull back, I said, watch for this resistance to hold as support. Look what it did. Came right down, bounced right off of it. Just showing you again, you can predict what is going to happen. You really can. The thing is finding the stocks that move, having the patience. I keep wanting to go over this screener here on Street Smart Edge, but I don't want to take my attention off of the market. ATAI is looking good and TIS is looking good. LTRX, I could probably say I can delete this one. Well, I'll add it to my back burner. There. NEWA, that's going to go on the back burner as well. I just don't like to have my main watch list cluttered with a bunch of stuff. So if I bring this over, this is my watch list. I really want to keep my eye on ATAI. It's starting to move up. This could just get momentum out of nowhere and just start going. What's the 3 minute looking like? 3 minutes slowly starting to grind up. Looks like though this got halted. 178. See, look at that 5 minute. That 5 minute is looking good. That 5 minutes is looking really good. So is the 15 minute. I'd want this to pull back, though, at least to 150, 145-ish. So they got this new, I'd say, web-based app coming out pretty soon. and what is it called? It's called TradeCaster. And I've noticed a few traders are going over to that. And if you don't know what TradeCaster is, it is kind of cool, but then it isn't cool. I mean, it's cool in a way. So let me explain it what it is. TradeCaster is pretty much what I'm doing right here, but it's like a subscription based thing. And traders can stream live trading, and instead of paying a monthly cost to them, people, if they want to just do a day, they do it by the day. So if someone's a known traders uh, live streaming, and this is a totally new thing, it's not even out yet. I've only heard about it and I looked into it, but like I said, it's called TradeCaster, and it's a daily subscription thing. You could set your own profile up. I'm not really sure on how it is. I've only seen like little videos of it. But you know how those gamers are getting paid on Twitch, and there's something else that they do as well. But the TradeCaster is for them. So they start to like I said, if they have a following, they can bank on it. You know, paying $5 a day instead of paying 180 a month or something, and you're really not there all the time. So you're paying for the days that you are there. I mean, I guess it's cool in a way, but then I guess it's not. I've only seen a couple little videos of it, but I don't know, something new. I know Sean Deckmar is going over to it, uh, and there was another trader going over to it, but and it's gonna do all exchanges, I believe too, the all exchanges, even Bitcoin. So I think that's coming out in like October. Let me see if I can pull it up. Uh, okay. They don't even have an actual website yet. Is it called TradeCaster? I thought it was. Um, I'm just trying to find it here on Google. I'll try finding it later, but I thought it was just something I'd share real quick. Alright, but let's go into this screener. One second. Okay, ATAI is pulling back to. Alright, it's not doing anything. I'll just get into this in a second. Hold on. Alright, so the stocks screener scanner here, it is actually pretty cool. So let me pull this open. This is on Street Smart Edge. Now, compared to the Thinkorswim platform, this is way, way, way better. And it's not up to par with trade ideas, but it's a screener. It's not a scanner, really. I have a few of them up here right now, like the top volume, the daily high count, performance by sector, percentage gainers, and I have a custom scan right here. And it's actually worked pretty cool. I've used it today to try it out. I kept looking back on it and comparing it with trade ideas. So the top volume, you can set it up with this little criteria tab right here. And I'm looking for stocks less than $20. And I got an average volume. Hold on one second. Something's going on in the news. So I guess Mexico and Canada reached a deal on something. What's that doing to the S&P? Nothing as of right now. I just noticed this was going off on the scanners. RGSE. So I guess the news is exclusive U.S.-Mexico reach NAFTA deal talks with Canada to start immediately. The United States and Mexico reached a deal on Monday to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, and talks with Canada were expected to begin immediately in the hopes of reaching a final agreement by Friday. A senior U.S. trade official said, "We are now inviting the Canadians in as well, and I hope that we can reach a fair and successful conclusion with them as well," the official told Reuters in an interview. "There are still issues with Canada, but I think they could be resolved very quickly," the official said. The U.S.-Mexico deal would require 75% of auto content to be made in the United States and Mexico, up from the current level of 62.5%, and would require 40% to 45% of auto content to be made by workers earning at least $16 per hour, a second official said. So I guess Mexico, Canada, and the United States want to all reach a deal. The Mexico and Canada have a deal right now, so that's good news. Man, Ford Motor Company's chart just looks horrible. I'm not really seeing anything in the market though that I like. I mean, it still is August. It's the last week of August. August is one of the slowest trading months of the whole year. Let me see. ATAI still at $1.50 level, and TIS still at 382. IGC still bouncing off of $1. So I got 3 tickers I'm going to be looking at going into Power Hour. Who knows what else will pop up. If nothing presents it, I'm not going to force a trade. I'm not. That's the last thing I want to do. CTXR is popping up on the daily highs. This has room to run up to 217. What is CTXR? It's a NASDAQ. Okay. Manufacturing, transportation equipment, manufacturing. It's a pharmaceutical. Plain pharmaceuticals is, I don't really care for it. Pharmaceuticals are a world of their own. They could have great news and tank. They could have bad news and spike. They're crazy. Going back to the screener again. Alright, I'm gonna finish it this time, I promise. So, like I said with this screener, it's very good in my opinion. I like this screener a lot, and like I was going over, you can customize it. Like I have right here, I have the exchange. I have every single exchange selected that I wanted to scan, from the NASDAQ, the NYSE, Amex, NYSE, the NASDAQ Global Market, NASDAQ Select Small Cap, the OTC Pink Sheets, and OTC BB. I have the last trade set to $20 and below, and the average 5-day volume is greater than 75,000. And this is the results right here that it's coming up with. And I can select right here to have it update every 15 seconds, and then so on. 30 seconds, a minute, to 60 minutes. The fastest update on it is 15 seconds. Then I have the daily high count. Watch live. Stocks hit new highs following U.S.-Mexico trade deal news. President Trump is expected to speak soon. So we'll see what that does to the market with that news. That is great news. Really good news. That's good news for the economy. We're bringing work to the United States. That's great news. So, back to the screener here. This is the daily high count. And this is counting how many times a ticker has hit a high. And it's keeping track of that. If I go to the criteria, it's scanning all the markets. And then I have it set to $20 and below. I like to trade small cap stocks. My price range is between $20 and below that. I don't like to trade really anything above $20. And then ATAI, let's see. See, it's hit a day high of 129 times. It's hit a daily high. Followed by CRON, 121 times. And I also have the daily low count on it as well. So ATAI has hit a new high of 129 times. It's hit a daily low of only 3 times. That's scanner screener. This one's pretty cool. I like this one. Then I have performance by sectors. And I love this screener right here. I can look at and break down every single sector. So health, let's see, which one's the biggest percentage changer from the open? Looks like materials. So I click this little tab here for materials, and then it breaks it down into these subsectors. And what we got here, which one's the biggest one? Looks like containers and packaging is the biggest percentage changer. So let's get into more depth into that one. And it opens up 2 more subsectors. Which one's the bigger of that? Paper packaging. Okay, let's look into that one. And then it gives you a list of all the tickers that's in that. Let's see what we got. Which one's the biggest one? Looks like $1.63 here, IP. So if I click on IP, there you go. There's IP, the biggest percentage gainer for paper packaging, which is the biggest percentage gainer today in that sector. It's pretty cool, huh? How you can just break that down like that. That's why I like this little screener set right there, because if you really want to get in depth and break down the market, you can. That way when a sector, like the pot stocks, the weed stocks or something, start trending, you can keep an eye on the sector and track its moves. I love that. I love breaking down a market in a sector and see just how the whole market moves in sectors, and when news comes out, what happens. It's just really fascinating. I love it. And then you got the total volume here for the sectors. Which one's got the most volume? Looks like consumer discretionary. It's got the year-to-date close. Let me see here. Columns and settings. I guess I could keep all that stuff, but I really just don't care for all that stuff. So that's the performance by sector. And then I have the change from the open. Go to results. And the change from the open, this is just scanning the biggest money gainers from the open. And the criteria I have it under is under $20. And the results on it is this. The biggest money gainer is YRD. Double click YRD. And there you go. Going from $17 up to $18.90. TIS is the third one down. ATAI is down right there. Those are the two we've been watching all this morning. And what's really cool about this too is you can customize the columns, you can customize the colors. So let's say the grid lines will make black. Look at that. Let's change the colors some more. The font colors, I'll keep the same. Alternating row backgrounds. Let's, I really don't, well, I couldn't reset them to back to default if I wanted. Let's see. Let's make that a light gray and just a little more darker. And there you go. So just messing around and messing with the settings, I think is pretty cool. And then I got the biggest percentage gainers here. And again, you can update it every 15 seconds to a high of every 60 minutes. These scanners work, or screeners work very, very well. And it's free with Charles Schwab. And it works way better than the Thinkorswim platform. And I just like the way they have it set up. They have it set up better than the Thinkorswim platform as well. The Thinkorswim scanners were just garbage. Straight up garbage. I didn't like them at all. And then I have my custom scan right here. My custom scanner, let's see. I have it scanning all of the markets below $20. The volume has to be greater than 100,000 and the price change has to be greater than 5%. That's my custom scan I have right here, and these are the results. I think what I will do though is take off the OTCs and the OTC bulletin boards. Go back to results. Let me save it. So let it update here in a second. It might take away all these OTCs. This live stream has been going for over an hour now. I don't know if I should just do a live stream every single morning to go over the market. I really don't. And then I got my high-low ticker right here. This thing works pretty good as well. And I can also customize it to the price I want it to. All kinds of stuff. It tells me if it's hitting new 52-week highs, daily highs. You can edit it to the price increment of when it triggers it. So every time it's hitting a high, every penny, it's popping up on that. And I have it scanning for stocks $10 and below. That's pretty cool. If you click on it, something down here pops up to where you can track it. Going back to this real quick, these are the, not that one, this one. So this tab, if I pull it out, these are all the screeners that are already preloaded in the Street Smart Edge. They have all kinds of them. Top 10 volume, top 10 gainers, top 10 decliners. You can scan it by the exchange, daily high count, daily low count, hitting highs, near yearly highs, all kinds. Climax, sell-off, downtrend, and currently overbought, oversold and gaining momentum. Just all kinds of cool ones. So I really like this screener that Street Smart Edge has. I really do. Bring this back over. Let's pull back up ATAI again. Still hanging in there. Going up to $1.60, coming back down to $1.45. So it's in this range right now. Let me put a support line or a resistance line on it right here. This is what it's all about, putting your support and resistance lines, your trend lines. And I like to think I have this set up pretty cool. I have the 1 minute here. If I want to switch to multiple time frames, I have it all set up right here. I got my 1 minute, my 3 minute, my 5 minute, 15 minute, and 60 minute. And then on my other monitor, I have the daily chart, a big daily chart with my screener, my high-low, and my watch list. And then also down here, I can switch it to the days. So right now I'm looking just at the 1 day. Let's say I want the 2 day real quick. That's the previous 2 days, the previous 5 days. Look at that. Look at that drop from almost $7 all the way down here. Look at that great dead cat bounce right there. And this is what we've been seeing recently. We've been seeing a lot of stocks lately that's been up big, and out of nowhere they've had just crazy big drops and just had really good bounces. ATAI is one, SSLJ was one, RSLS was one, I believe. Let me see. Yep, RSLS was one. Let me see if I can go back and hit max. No, I can't go back, but let me pull up the daily here. You remember these tickers. That's why I'm here every single day. You remember them. And you start to notice stuff. Right there. This is RSLS. It was up to $1.40. Then it drops down to 30-something cents. Then it drops to 6 cents. And then it just runs from 6 cents all the way up to 50 cents. So there's your big drop in your bounce right there. SSLJ. Here's another one. It was up to $4, drops down to $1.50, and then continues to trend down. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On the 12th day, It finally got a green day, going from 63 cents up to $2. And then now today, what was it? ATAI is today, is the one today? Yeah. Look at it, going from 670 down to 83 cents. You see the pattern on all of those? That's been happening a lot. And I'm sure there's a few other ones. I just can't remember them at the moment. I don't think BDR was one of them. No. HMNY, I think, was one. HMNY was crazy, though. Look at it, you can't even see what's going on with HMNY because HMNY has done so many reverse splits, and it's just a crap company. It really is. Last summer, this thing went crazy, going from look at right here. It says at $655. That's not true, but this HMNY last summer, and this spike is correct. It's just the pricing's messed up on it because it's done so many reverse splits. But this went from it was at like a couple dollars, and this thing ran to like $50, $60, and that's the spike right there. And while HMNY was running, there was another ticker that was running the same time as HMNY, and that was ITUS. Let me pull it up. Scroll back to last summer. It's not showing it. I believe it was ITUS. I'm pretty positive it was ITUS. But HMNY and ITUS broke over $1, and it ran all the way up to like $16 within a few days. It just, last summer was just crazy booming. Normally during the summertime, the market's very, very slow and not much is going on. But last summer was just a different story. All these stocks were exploding and just going supernova parabolic. And then Bitcoin took off, and just everything blockchain and cryptocurrency related just started going crazy. It was an insane time. And I was just starting to learn about the market during that time. So it was kind of a good time to start learning, but then a bad time because when I first started learning, I thought the markets were always booming like that. And then when it slowed down, it was like I'm trading very aggressively in these slow market conditions. And it just took me a moment to realize, like, hey, you know, you gotta be patient and wait for setups and wait for market conditions. The market conditions are not always booming and exploding. But that's why I say you gotta put your screen time in and your time in. You really do. You got a lot to experience and a lot to see. I've seen some crazy stuff in the market. Crazy stuff. And that's why I say, don't ever underestimate a ticker. Anything can happen. And just ask all the shorts that shorted AWX. Boom! What a burn! You never underestimate a ticker. I've seen stocks spike up and then fall off, and when it's looking like it's just fading off the rest of the day, just out of nowhere, volume comes in and it just explodes. But not much is really going on right now. Just keeping an eye on, waiting for power hour to come along here in a couple hours. I'm just gonna keep watching. TIS is still gonna be on watch, as it's right now. It's went up, got very toppy. Now it's just starting to look like it's falling down, but it's still above the VWAP. If it can hold its gains, it could easily see, where's the 50-day at? The 50-day's at 372. So it's right around that 50-day moving average. It's below it now, actually. So kind of iffy on that. Then I got ATAI, which was that fire this morning. It's slowly starting to move up. It's got its first, second. It's going for its third touch here in a moment. Volume looks like it's starting to peter off on it, but I feel really, really good about this one. This one I'm going to have on high alert. And IGC has just been in this dollar area all day. It had a great morning right here, going up to $1.25 from $1, but I don't play the first couple minutes of the market. Fell off, comes down, bounces right off of $1. Now it's starting to kind of move its way back up. And then you got TIS. I already went over TIS. Anything else on the scanners? We got LTRX, CTXR. It's just no volume though. Let me move up on my beast mode here. We got Pixie starting to pick up. It is a recent runner, as you can see. Ran up to 540 here. So it's got a history of spiking. It's come down. Let me see here. It's got great support under it at $3. It's only up to 320 right now. I don't know. No news on it. I like ATAI though. But that's the market update for you guys. Let me see. Let me pull up the SPY real quick for you. The overall market is green. The futures were up in green this morning. The SPY, this is the daily right here, looking great. As you can see, Friday, it closed pretty strong, up green. And then today, gaps up, strong morning. Great news with Mexico and Canada about the agreement with the trade. It was something. Bringing work into the United States. The market's responding well to that. Trump's due to speak later on today. He might be speaking right now. And the market is hitting new highs right now. Just last week, 2 times the market made new highs. Let me pull up the chart here. So back in the first month of the year, January, we topped out right here. And then from there, it's just been choppy. I mean, it was a little scary here and here, but going up, down, just very choppy. And then we just started to get out of that and just slowly start to trend up. And the past few days here is when we made new highs. And like I said last week, we had 2 days where we made new highs in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and I believe the Dow Jones. But today, it's just really looking healthy and strong and looking great. The economy is booming right now. I wouldn't get comfortable though, because we are overextended. If I pull back here, we're in like one of the longest bull markets in the history. And the last time we really had a correction was 2008 during the financial collapse. So look at that history right there. It's just up and up and up and up and up and up. But enjoy it while you can. Ride the wave. You know, I'm not gonna complain about it. You know, maybe this was just a great, really good, healthy pullback right here. That was just overdue. We really needed a healthy pullback, and we got that right here. It took half a year for that pullback, but, you know, it's like a marathon. It's like a marathon. You run a marathon, you got to take a breather, take a rest, take a water break. And that's what it did right here. And now it's just continuing to go. Great to see that. Love seeing the market in tip-top shape. But that's it for this, guys. Just the morning recap. So this was my first day with the Street Smart Edge. And I gotta say, it did very well today. I did not place a trade yet on this platform, so I still have yet to do that. I didn't want to force a trade today. I just don't want to force a trade just to trade to see how this is working. I actually want to wait for an opportunity to come up. But only a couple stocks on my watch list. I did go into the market with a couple on my watch list. They just didn't turn out. Gevo just did absolutely nothing. CVSI, I just been watching after its crazy move last Monday. GERN was one of the top gainers on Friday, and as you can see today, it's selling off. KOSS had news, but it just has no volume. OBLN, starting to move up. What's the news on OBLN? $10 million private placement, but no volume moving into it. It's only got $500,000 in volume. That's not interesting to me. You know, and it's coming right up here to the 200-day moving average. CYTX, nothing. XXII, one of the better looking pot stocks I was keeping an eye on. Not really fascinated with it. It's just one of the best looking pot stock charts that I've seen out of the ones I went through over the weekend, so I thought I'd keep an eye on it. SSC, which was the top gainer Friday, selling off hard this morning. And it's actually got a nice bounce right there. As you can see, going from a low of $4.50 up to almost $5. So you got a 50-cent bounce right there. But just a hard sell this morning. That was crazy. And PED, no. TIS, BDR, UXIN. UXIN is a newer ticker, newer company. Just it's hard playing these newer stocks, newer companies because they don't have a history, so you don't know how it moves. LTRX, same thing. Or no, LTRX is just an interesting chart. It's been green now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days straight, going from 275 up to 650. Now that's crazy. This thing's probably going to dump here pretty soon. NWA, Nothing. It's an invalid ticker. And you got CTXR. This just popped up on my scanners. But just going to keep an eye on TIS and ATAI. Those are the ones that got my attention in IGC. So 3. ATAI, IGC, TIS. Those are the 3 that have my attention. So that's it for this one, guys. Be patient, be disciplined, study. Later, guys.